Great question. There's a lot of variables here. I don't know whose injector you're putting in. I don't know if it was, Bob's Reman from Bob's R Us Injectors, or if it was somebody ready for prime time like a Holders, like this, injector back here. So maybe reach out to us privately and let's talk about that. Assuming it's a quality injector, but you keep on killing them. What kills injectors, there's a few different things. One, and the most common by far, is inadequate fuel pressure. So is your fuel pressure above 45 psi at all times? Not most of the time, all times. So get up to full operating temperature, gun it, and let's see what your fuel pressure drops to. So you'll have to install a manual gauge to make this happen, but you can do this. And you just watch it, and as long as it's above 45 fuel pressure, you can rule it out. Now, a month isn't long enough for this to be germane, but if this is a number 7 or number 8 injector, recognize that the lack of a regulated return, number 7 and number 8, they drink whatever's left over. So really what you should be looking at is either this standard regulated return fuel system kit, or better yet, this Fuel Bowl Delete version, which further unrestricts the flow of fuel to the cylinder heads. But that's only, that's a long-term conversation and not related to, hey, I've only had my thing for a month and now I've lost another injector. Recognize that a tremendous number of injectors that, quote, fail, they get replaced, and that's not the problem at all. We've heard horror stories about guys changing out injectors 3 and 4 times, and the problem was fuel pressure. Or the problem was, something like a faulty IPR valve that wasn't providing all of the high pressure oil to the high pressure oil system that it needed, and so they turned out that they had a high pressure oil leak. And that leak was just preventing the thing from developing adequate high pressure oil, so you're throwing contribution codes, and the contribution code saying, hey, look, this cylinder is not contributing to combustion. It's not that this injector is necessarily bad, maybe it's just not getting enough high pressure oil. So an option would be to take a high pressure oil test kit like this one here, and either buy that or rent it from us, or far better, use a gauge like this and go ahead and see, hey, what is my IPR duty cycle at hot idle? It should be 23%. The closer it gets to 30, the closer you are to a no start. Now, it also could be a problem with the FICM, but that's a lot less common than people give it credit for. So, I'm so concerned about frying my injectors with a bad FICM. It does happen, but it doesn't happen very often. So maybe drop me a note in privately. Let me know what whose injectors you've got and what injector number it is, and what your fuel pressure is, and what your IPR duty cycle is at hot idle, and we can go from there. If you've got a fancy scan tool, not just a monitor like an Edge Insight, but if you've got something that can tell you ICP actual versus ICP desired, that could be interesting. Or what could also be interesting is to see, hey, is just driving down the road 55, 60 miles an hour, just barely in overdrive, hit a small incline. All you're trying to do is maintain, speed up that incline. Is your IPR duty cycle pegged at 85%, which means I'm giving it all I can, Scotty. So it's either trying to overcome a leak, do a leak test, or if that leak test comes back and it's totally fine, then what you're looking at is sadly a high pressure oil pump. If your leaks are non-existent, get your IPR duty cycles to the stratosphere. You might want to also go ahead and just clean your IPR valve up. You can pop the screen off with a small flat-bladed screwdriver, and you can take a little, maybe 1-inch long, 1/4-inch diameter bolt, stick the bolt vertically on your work table, and maybe put a piece of paper towel down first so you can directly see what kind of stuff comes out. But you can slide that screen out, put the bolt in there, and you can manually actuate the plunger of the IPR valve while you're spraying brake clean through one of the side orifices, and that'll clean it out. And maybe you'll be right as rain. So whatever you need, we got you. But I hope this answers your question. FICMRepair.com. We're all in this together. Thank you.